Hey y'all, welcome to Operation Hardin Day Ninja. We have completed our 3 berms and swale system. There they go. 1, 2, and 3. This is a way for us to manage water during flash flooding events in central Texas. Sometimes we get, a lot of times, we get a lot of rain in a very quick amount of time, very short amount of time. And it leads to a lot of surface runoff because the water doesn't have enough time to move so quickly. It doesn't have enough time to absorb into the land, which is where the roots are for all of our trees and shrubs. So what we wanted to do was come up with a way to slow down the water as it goes across our property. There's a slight grade, so a teeny tiny little slope that leads from that direction down past me over here, down towards the street. And so what we wanted to do was channel the water and have it bank into these little ditches over there. And then on the downside of the ditch, we put all of these mounds of dirt so that when it overflows, it'll be overflowing into a raised bed, essentially, and that's where the water is going to stay for the roots to develop. Our backyard is full of clay, and clay doesn't absorb well. So the question was, how do we improve its absorption? And the answer was swales, berms and swales. So the first thing you want to do is figure out where you want the water to go. As long as your ground isn't too level or flat, if there's a little gradient or a slope, you should be able to create small little swales on contour, which means perpendicular to the direction that the water is going to flow. And when you do that, the water won't go straight down, but will actually have a series of dams, essentially, to keep it from running straight off. So the first thing you want to do is figure out where you want the water to go, then frame your spot with large logs and stones. This will create habitat for lizards, frogs, and bees in the garden, and essentially create homes for the creatures that are going to be your pest control. After that, you want to cut a swale or channel into the ground to allow water under the ground, under the surface. And then you want to use that dug up clay to make a berm or a dirt mound on the downside, so in the direction where the water is going to go, to kind of dam it up. In that berm, you want to plant cover crops like clover, peas, and other legumes, rye, vetch, and plants with deep tap roots like yarrow, which will help to break down the clay so that the other plant roots have an easier time spreading out, getting nutrients, and absorbing water. Add chicken poop straw on top of that, which will double as mulch and as a slow release fertilizer because the chicken poop is full of nitrogen. Fill the swale back up with leaves, twigs, branches, or other old or decaying tree matter, and that will be your hugul. As those materials break down, they will absorb the water that fills the swale and slowly release it again during drier times. When the swale is full of soft mulch from the hugul, and that usually occurs after months or sometimes even years for it to break down, dig it out and top the berm next to it so that the swale can still fill up and the berm has a fresh layer of soil on top in which to plant. Water it in and then leave it alone. The berms can be used right now for food production, as the peas that I planted on the trellises, on the bamboo trellises, can be eaten. And the mint that I planted as a living mulch can also be used in salads and as garnishes and stuff. After that, melons can be planted because they like to grow on mounds and have large leaves, which will also act as a living mulch. And strawberries do the same thing. They like to grow on mounds, they like their roots to be a little bit elevated, and they like to creep out. The more the berm is used, the better the soil is, and the healthier the plants will be, because we're continuing with the succession planting. And in doing so, we're just constantly adding new material, new elements into the soil, so that the plants that we put into that soil will also be full of nutrients. So that's it. The next step after that is mulching around the berms so that the new side of the garden matches the old side of the garden, and we'll get it from the Austin Resource Recovery Center. We'll catch you next time.